In this position it's white's turn. Johnny is a fantastic kid, a student of mine, and he asked me one very difficult question. What are you doing except chess? He asked. And I was a little shocked. I thought for a while, and I say basketball, but I didn't believe it too much, because I can see games like this one from Mikhail Tal, and without further ado, let's dive in. Tal started the game with the move e4, and now we have the Sicilian. Both players are developing their pieces, and here we have the classical Sicilian. He played bishop to g5, and the main idea here is to play queen d2, long castling, maybe f4, and start attacking in the center of the board. His opponent played this one, he's continuing his development. We have some exchanges here, and queen a5, he's threatening the bishop, so Tal captured the knight here and pawn takes. Black has destroyed his pawn structure in the middle of the board, but these pawns are very nice shelter with the king, so the black is planning to leave his king in the center of the board. He has open file for this rook and the other open file for the other rook, and this is Sicilian. Sicilian is a complicated and counter-attacking opening. He would like to counter-attack his opponent. Now we have long castling here, f4, rook there. He played g3 in order to liberate this bishop and maybe to develop it in the future. So we have e6, bishop there, and we have queen to c5. Maybe black is okay with the queen exchanges, because he can bring the rook in the center of the board. He has the bishop pair and everything looks fine, right? Even this weakness, he can push it forward in order to exchange it with that pawn. This is the plan. So Tal didn't cooperate with his opponent, and he played queen d2, keeping the queens on the board, and he would like to prove that this king in the center of the board is in danger. He would like to create some attack, but we cannot do it right away. We have b5 here, rook in the center of the board. You can see the rook is opposite to the king. He would like to eyeball the enemy king. We have this one, and Tal maybe he would like to play this move knight d5, but his opponent actually he's not forced to cooperate with him and capture here to open up lines. He can do other things. For that reason, Tal played knight e2 here, queen c4, attacking on a2. We have this move, and queen takes a4. Black's strategy is extremely risky, because his king is in the center of the board, and the queen is opposite to the rook, so we can make some discover attacks with that knight. You can see the queen is under attack. He went back. We cannot win instantly, actually we cannot, but here we have a very nice initiative, because we have a weak spot here. You can see this pawn is pinned. This pawn on e4 maybe harm white's development, so this rook is more active now, and white is based his compensation for the sacrificed pawn to his activity and threats. He played instantly this one. He's attacking now the pawn, and black give up this pawn in order to finalize his development. He played that move. Now the game goes on. He captured here, rook there, bishop to g4. The idea behind this move is maybe to push the pawn forward in the future. It is a strategical plan to start pushing the pawns, because this pawn on h file is a passed pawn. This is one idea. And the other idea, we're going to see it in the middle. Here, if the king goes, for example, on d8, this is a sub-variation. We can see the second idea, which is bishop to h5, attacking the pawn on h7. And now, after bishop to e8, we have a fantastic move actually here. Really brilliant move. And this move is rook takes e6. Amazing move, because after that we can give a check. He can go there, and now we have another check. He cannot take the knight because the bishop is pinned. And after this move, you can go back, and now we have another brilliant idea. It's white's turn here, sub variation, but it's very nice. What are you going to play? And this is check, because if the bishop takes, we can take the queen, but we have something better, and this is knight e6, checkmate. Let's go back actually. This was a sub variation, so he played queen to c7, eyeballing this c2 square. He cannot attack this one right now, but he's looking at this pawn. And now we have a very interesting moment, because Tal here has a lot of moves, but he played something really cool. Even computer cannot find this next move. And he would like to prepare his attack. He would like to overprotect c2, and he played a very nice prophylactic move. He played rook to king a1. It's not the best move according to the computer, it's not amazing at all. It's a good move actually, but it's not the best move of the position. Maybe the best is bishop to h5, try to continue attacking, and after this, for example, we can play g4, and after that we can capture there, and if he captures we can play f6, and now the bishop on e7 is pinned, and queen is protecting that pawn. This is another way to completely destroy black's position. But okay, king a1 is a very smart move actually, and we have a strategical rule here. Nimzowitsch himself said that the threat is more important than his execution. For that reason, this is on air. He has a lot of sacrifices on e6 maybe, and he's protecting his king. This is the idea behind that move. And actually black cannot do a lot of things here. And he decided to play f5, very logical move, right? Because he's attacking the bishop, and he would like to close this diagonal in order to attack with the queen. This was his idea. But he fell into white's trap here, and white played this amazing move, bishop takes f5. The idea is to completely open the enemy shelter in the center. He would like to destroy the pawn structure and continue attacking. After this we have rook takes e7. Tal continues sacrificing a lot of pieces, and after this we have another rook. So white remaining pieces are extremely active, but black pieces are doing nothing at all. And now we have some moves. For example, after this we have checkmate in one move, queen h6. We have another move, for example, he can do this one, so we can take with the knight, amazing. And here you can see the idea of king a1. Now black cannot take on c2 with check. It could be a mate. If it is check here, he has to go inside, and then he can sacrifice the queen on c1. Very typical tactic. But right now the king is on a1 in advance, so after this white is winning the enemy queen, and white is completely winning. So during the game he played king to d8, we have a check, f6, and queen back attacking the rook. And his opponent here played something tricky. He played queen a5. What is the threat? Why he played that move? If you don't like to lose a lot of games, then you need to ask what is my opponent's idea. And this is a very sneaky trap, because if white just captured that pawn, and after this he can capture another pawn, but we have b3, and now we have a double attack. We are attacking this one and we are attacking the rook, so white is losing. If a lion saw his teeth, this is not meaning that it smiles to you, right? Don't take the cheese. Be careful. And about the traps, because you're going to take the rook in any case, but he give you the rook. It has something behind it. You should be careful about that moments. And of course Tal played this move now, knight to b3. Very stubborn move, very nice move. Consolidate everything, attacking the queen, and after this he just captured the rook, and now he's completely winning. We have this, he captured the pawn, rook e8. Of course here we should not capture the rook because we have a checkmate, so he played something else, protecting everything. And after this he played something else here. He played queen d4. It looks a mistake because black can capture on b3, and if we just capture the queen, the bishop can recapture our queen. But Tal had in mind to capture with the pawn, and this is check, and he's going to win the enemy queen. So tactics are extremely important. Tactics is one of the most, if not the most important part of the games. Your plan could be successful if you use the tactics correctly, and the tactics can be accelerator to your plan. With Grandmaster Stelios Chalkias, we created this amazing chess course here on tactics and calculation, and you can read the description. We have a lot of lessons and 100 exercises there. If you follow the blog post, then you can read more about Stelios' life. You are welcome to click the link below the video and learn more. During the game he played queen on d4, so his opponent retreated, and now we have rook there attacking the pawn on d6. He played this one, and now we have a double attack attacking the king and rook, and he's completely losing because after this we have this knight c5 check attacking the queen, the king, the rook. The pawn cannot take because it's pinned, so Tal won that game. Now we have another game here. Tal is with white pieces and Svesnikov with black. We have the Sicilian. He played something different, queen here to keep the queens on the board. The opening is nothing special, he's just developing his pieces. And these days on 1973 people didn't have computers, so they could not prepare very well for his opening. We have this one here, g3, he would like to develop the remaining of his army. Bishop there, bishop h3, and now his opponent Vesnikov played this move h5. He would like to do something in the king side, try to push this pawn forward and prove that this bishop is very strong in the center of the board, right? So we have knight e5, we have a pin on d7, so he played this one, and now it's Tal. Tal played an amazing move here, and it's very important because here I have an article about the attack, and if you like to improve your attacking skills, you're very welcome to click the link below for that video and read more about the attack. And Tal played this move knight takes f7. Amazing move, sacrificing a knight, and after this he sacrificed another piece, and now actually he cannot just take there because we have a check on c4. He has to put some pieces on d5, and this is total disaster for black. Black is completely losing in this variation. Another variation that we should calculate is if he goes here, and we can play this brilliant move queen c4. The idea is to overprotect this f7 square, and after that we can deliver the checkmate like this. So he cannot do anything there, and he went king f8. So we have e5 is a very nice move here. Tal didn't play this one during the game, sacrificing the rook in the corner, but he can capture the knight, and now black has a lot of problems because he is going to lose this knight on d7, or he can do it in another way, he's going to lose his queen. For that reason e5 was very strong move, but Tal played this calm move castling. It's also very nice. We have queen c8, rook takes, continue with sacrificing in order to naked the enemy king to destroy his defenders, and after this he played rook d1 attacking the knight, bishop here, and knight d5. Black continued with queen b7 and now e5 and king e8. Now Tal overpush it actually. What are you going to do with white pieces? Here you can pause the video and try to think. It's white's turn. And Tal really overestimated his position, and he played this bishop to f7. He would like to sacrifice all his pieces, and now he sacrificed the bishop in an empty square, but it's not good actually, because after this and check, king f8, he captured there, knight on f6, and after this his opponent played king e8, and black is a little better because these pieces are powerful. We have a lot of weaknesses in the light squares. This is on the air, we don't have direct attack right now. The game ended in a draw actually, but Tal didn't play correctly the best move, and the best move here, Tal is completely winning. He could capture the knight, and after this we have e6. For example, he can go back, and now we have queen to e4, threatening this deadly check on e4, and white is completely winning. Thanks for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Here it's time for action. This is the initial page of my website, and here you can click Give me access to get access to free lessons. You can read this page, and if you scroll down, here you can add your name and your email. After that, you're going to take a free lesson how to avoid chess blunders. So, time for action is now, and you're very welcome to join my mail list.